Welcome to Meridian Coast, a peaceful town in Sunshine Peninsula. Our citizens are enjoying the fresh air and calm seas. The city has seen some new growth and development, but right now its citizens are in need of leisure, education, and more housing. Hello friends, thank you for joining me in this second episode of my Meridian Coast City Skylines 2 series. Today, we're going to expand our city to further increase our population. We're going to build the city's first elementary school and the first few small parks. We'll also build the first agricultural farm. Let's get going. I'm starting the episode off by adding in some more zoning all across our little city. It's in need of pretty much every type of zone, and my strategy right now is just to take it one step at a time, fill in a new commercial block, and then start on a new residential block. In the previous episode, I talked about starting small by zoning small. I'm sticking with that strategy for now, since the city is still becoming established. I'm going to be going back and forth between my residential, commercial, and industrial zones throughout the video as the area of need arises. I'm leaving some space between my residential blocks to make room for future parks, schools, and other assets. So far, I'm really enjoying creating this little city. While it's really easy to play from a bird's eye view, I'm enjoying building slowly and taking my time. I like to click on individual residents and follow them around throughout their day. Sometimes they even break up with their partners and have children. I'm still discovering so many aspects to this game. It's been really enjoyable for me. For the most part, I'm sticking to my row house pattern by placing a pedestrian path in between my rows and also adding in some greenery for decoration. At the end of the episode, I'm going to use the district tool and name our little neighborhoods. Creating districts will help your emergency services and cemetery reach residents specifically in particular districts. This ensures that they're running at maximum efficiency and aren't having to travel for long distances to do their job. Currently, our city has medium density housing available, but it will soon require higher density buildings and offices once we level up. I'm still trying to figure out how to zone the different types in a way that's pleasing to the eye. It's definitely trial and error. This map is called Sunshine Peninsula. I don't think it has any snow, which is why I chose it. The snow in the game kind of makes it hard to see while building. One thing I would have liked to see more of in the game is different types of greenery. Since this map is supposed to be beachy, it would have been nice to have some palm trees and succulents. Maybe that's something the developers will work on for a future update. I haven't really been keeping up with what's been going on with updates to the game. If you're new to my channel, you may not know that I originally played City Skylines on console, but I couldn't wait for the CS2 console release and have been playing on PC. Although I definitely prefer playing on console, I have really enjoyed playing on PC and recording and editing videos on PC. It's definitely a learning process. I've been working hard to learn editing programs to make quality content, so I'm really grateful for you all who are willing to watch my creations. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel for more content. I really appreciate your support. Now we're going to get back to building. I'm working on adding in some more roads off of our main neighborhood. I'd like to place an elementary school somewhere around here, but I'm not quite sure where yet. The school assets are fairly large in CS2, especially with their upgrades. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit just so I'm not boring you with all of this zoning, but up next we're going to be hitting our next city milestone. Okay, so we've unlocked the third milestone, Large Village, and we get 3 development points, so I'm going to spend them on the welfare office and large roads. With this upgrade, we get more land, of course, but we also get fire and police services. I'm going to be placing those near our commercial and residential areas. Up next, I'm going to start working on our first farm. I believe it's Animal Farm. I don't quite remember what kind of farm you get first, but once I get that new land, we'll have farming available to us. We do have a little bit of awkward space here next to our fire station, so I'm just going to be adding in some greenery on this little corner, and maybe eventually we can put in like a bus stop or something here. But for awkward spaces like this, I just like to put in some trees and bushes, and it helps to kind of fill that space up so it's not just blank grass. Looking at our natural resources, we have a lot of green up here towards the north side of the city. So I don't just want to place like one random road to get out there. So I'm going to be building a new grid to kind of make it seem like a natural transition to get over to this farm area. So it does take me a little bit to figure out like how do I want to place this grid and how is it going to look. So I do play around with that for a little bit, but eventually I do get it, and I'm going to kind of make some adjustments in order to make space for that farm. Okay, so the farms are a little bit tricky, and I do think there is some sort of glitch where you place it and it doesn't realize that like a farm is there, or it says something like you need a road or access or something like that. So I've just kind of had to learn that you kind of, when you're placing the farm down, you have to make sure that you see the little building pop up, because if you don't see it, like when you're trying to place it down, it's not gonna work. So anyway, so that's like my little tidbit there if you're having issues placing down the farm. So right now I'm making this really weird shape with the farm, and I end up deleting this whole thing because I like how it looks when everything is pretty much square. So, but I at the same time I want to maximize how much farm I can make, but overall I like the look of it being fairly square. So I can't remember if I end up deleting this or if I keep this part. I think right now it looks okay, but it's also pretty tricky with the roads, because I feel like if you're working with the farm, then it should be off of a gravel road. That's just something that I like to do, but then it's connected to these weird grids. So anyway, it's a little bit tricky, I think, trying to transition from like commercial to farm, or like offices to farm, because it has to look like it's in a rural area. So anyway, that's just me rambling a little bit about farming. but for now, we're gonna go back into our neighborhood, and I'm gonna start working on that first elementary school. I think actually I do place a couple of commercial zones right here, and then I think I'm gonna get into that elementary school, so stay tuned. So I've decided to place my elementary school in this little block here. It's a somewhat central location, which was what I was going for, and I'm gonna go ahead and place down the children's clinic and the park upgrades that come with the elementary school, but I'm not going to do the expansion wings yet, just because we don't need that yet. Since we're still growing our population, I don't have a lot of students yet. But I'm going to call this elementary school Fairview, because that's the name of the street that it's on. And I'm going to do some more zoning really quickly. I'm going to speed up the game while I do this additional zoning. And then we're going to get into a little bit of traffic solutions. There's some traffic that's coming onto this main street that we have, and I'm gonna add in a new connection, and then later on we're gonna get into placing our first parks. Once the city levels up again, we'll have that ability to add in our first parks. we've gotten to our 4th milestone, and with this milestone we get small parks. We also get 4 development points, and I'm spending those on highways and the recycling center. I'm also going to go ahead and purchase some more land as well, and I'm going to place down a bus station. I won't actually be placing bus lines in this episode just yet. You will have to look forward to that in the next episode. So over here, I've made a new connection to our neighborhood, and I placed down a roundabout, but at the time I didn't have highways, so I used I used small one-way roads or 2-lane roads for this connection. But now that we have highways, I can actually continue the highway through this roundabout. This is just going to be a temporary fix until I can actually make a nice looking intersection here. So, but this is going to help with the traffic. We've gotten a lot of traffic and congestion over near the main intersection into our city. So adding this roundabout is really helping with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and start placing some parks. The small parks aren't my favorite in the game. Actually, really the parks in general, I'm not much of a fan because they're just so small. Everything is so small compared to some larger assets. Like the schools are really huge, but then we have these tiny parks, and so it kind of makes it hard when you really want to fill up the empty spaces and blocks. And anyway, so I'm placing down some different parks. I'm being careful here because I don't want to totally level up my neighborhood to where the residents can afford to live here. So I'm being really kind of careful and just trying to space out some of these parks. So I'm going to be doing that. And then also we did get some new medium density buildings. I believe I placed those down sort of in this area, and then I think I'm going to add in a couple more off to the right side, kind of near the elementary school. So coming up, I think we're just going to be finishing the video with just some more zoning, and I think I wrap it up pretty soon. So coming up in the next episode, we're going to get into building out some bus lines, and we're also going to add in a high school, so that'll be sort of fun. But and then we're going to get into actually zoning some offices and some high density, so that'll be coming up in episode 3. So I'm really excited about this series. I think it's going pretty well, but I don't want to say that I'm some super expert at playing this game, because I'm definitely not, and I'm kind of just learning while I'm building. But if you have any suggestions for me as far as what you'd like to see in the series, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Just leave me a comment in the video or leave me a comment below, and I'll get back to you. But right now I'm going to be just creating some districts. I'm going to name some different districts for these areas. I'm not being too particular here. I'm just kind of separating the low density from the high density for the most part, and then the industrial and farming area is going to be its own district as well. Alright, so we are at the end of the video. I'm going to end it with a couple of cinematics for you guys, but I want to take the time to thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.